Ever wonder what happens when you combine a black belt in Taekwondo, a farm girl from Missouri, and the willingness to throw hands for your teammates? You get Sophie Cunningham, the WNBA player who just became the league's most unlikely viral sensation. And trust me, what I'm about to tell you will completely change how you see women's basketball forever. But before we dive into this wild story, if you're someone who loves sports drama, hit that like button right now because this is about to get spicy. Really spicy. Here's what nobody's talking about. Sophie Cunningham didn't just gain 700,000 TikTok followers in 24 hours by accident. She didn't accidentally become the second most popular player in the WNBA overnight. And she definitely didn't accidentally pull a player to the ground for messing with Caitlin Clark without knowing exactly what would happen next. The truth is, Sophie Cunningham has been playing chess while everyone else was playing checkers. And the recent CEO affair allegations she had to deny, that's just the tip of the iceberg of a story that involves farm life, football field goals, viral fashion moments, and a relationship status that has the entire internet going crazy. Let me paint you a picture. It's June 17th, 2025. The Indiana Fever are crushing the Connecticut Sun with less than a minute left. Earlier in the game, Sun guard J.C. Sheldon had poked Caitlin Clark in the eye. Most players would have let it slide. Sophie Cunningham? She's not most players. With 46 seconds left, Sheldon's racing down the court on a fast break when Cunningham makes her move. She doesn't just foul her. She grabs Sheldon and literally pulls her to the ground. Both benches clear, players are shoving, the crowd's going wild, and in that moment, Sophie Cunningham transforms from a role player averaging 5 points a game into basketball's most talked about enforcer. The WNBA fined her $400 for the flagrant foul, plus more for the shoving match. But here's where it gets insane. Marketing experts calculated that gaining that many followers organically would cost a brand over $1 million. Her jersey sold out faster than Caitlin Clark's. Fans started calling her the enforcer and Caitlin's bodyguard. Pat McAfee lost his mind on his show, screaming, "Farm-raised black belt Sophie Cunningham!" But hold up. Did he just say black belt at age 6? Yeah, you heard that right. While most 6-year-olds were learning to tie their shoes, Sophie Elizabeth Cunningham was earning her black belt in Taekwondo. Born August 16, 1996 in Columbia, Missouri, she comes from a family where being average wasn't an option. Her dad Jim played football at Missouri. Her mom Paula threw javelin. Her sister Lindsay played basketball. Her aunt, uncle, even her grandfather, all Missouri athletes. This wasn't just a sports family, this was a dynasty. At Rockbridge High School, Sophie didn't just play basketball. When the football team's kicker tore her ACL, guess who stepped up? Sophie became the first female in school history to score points for the football team, going 2 for 4 on field goals. She later said, "I was so nervous. I've never played football before in all my life. Right when I got the ball on the opening kickoff, I couldn't hear anything." She finished high school as Rockbridge's all-time leading scorer with 1,983 points, led her team to 4 straight state championships, and was named Missouri's Gatorade Player of the Year. Then she stayed home and became a Tiger legend, starting all 129 games at Missouri. The Phoenix Mercury drafted her 13th overall in 2019. For 6 years, she learned from Diana Taurasi and Brittany Griner. They gave her the nickname Spicy Sophie for her on-court intensity. But it wasn't until that 4-team blockbuster trade on January 31st, 2025, that everything changed. When asked about joining Indiana, Sophie couldn't hide her excitement. "I'm stoked. I'm so excited. This is the style that I thrive in. The offense is more my style here." Then came the controversy that set the internet on fire. WNBA fans started calling her MAGA Barbie, and the nickname spread like wildfire. The speculation intensified when Sophie shared a video from Donald Trump Jr.'s Instagram story, a compilation taking shots at Kamala Harris. Her Mercury teammate Natasha Cloud seemed to subtly call her out on social media. The controversy peaked when Sophie wore a hat that some fans misread as supporting MAGA. It actually said, "Hot Cowgirl Summer," forcing the Phoenix Mercury's official account to clarify. Here's the thing though, Sophie has never actually confirmed her political views. Not once. Her official stance? Unknown. There's even a petition on change.org called Remove Sophie Cunningham from WNBA for Misconduct with nearly 200 signatures, though most people signed it just to defend her and call the petition ridiculous. Speaking of things everyone's talking about, let's address the elephant in the room. Sophie's love life has become must-see content. The 28-year-old guard has been refreshingly honest about being single, and honestly, it's hilarious. During an Instagram Q&A while waiting for a delayed flight in March 2025, when a fan asked why she wasn't married, Sophie posted a video of herself chugging a drink at the WNBA All-Star Game. Her response was legendary. "I've received this question a lot. I think it's 'cause I'm a rat and an embarrassment to society." After a preseason game where she scored 21 points, Sophie posted a TikTok with the caption, "LOL, but like, I wouldn't mind a man to take care of me too, you know?" with crying, laughing emojis. She even reposted it on Instagram saying, "LOL, we still want and need the boy too." Her last known relationship was with Jacob Neidig, a dual sport athlete from Missouri. They dated starting in 2019, but the last photo she posted with him was in May 2020. Since then, Sophie's been flying solo and making jokes about it every chance she gets. But wait, it gets juicier. In May 2025, Sophie had to publicly deny affair allegations linking her to Phoenix Mercury and Suns CEO Josh Bartelstein, who's married. The allegations came from an unrelated lawsuit, and Sophie released a statement saying, "I am deeply saddened by the recent false accusations made against me by someone I do not know and have never met." Let me be clear, his statements are untrue and extremely hurtful. Now let's talk money, because this is where things get really interesting. Sophie signed a one-year, $100,000 contract with Indiana for 2025. That's actually less than the $120,000 she made in 2024. Over her entire WNBA career, Sophie has earned roughly $700,000. Her net worth? Estimated at around $1.5 million. But Sophie isn't staying quiet about the pay disparity. During a pregame statement on July 4th, she delivered a powerful message. "We are fighting to share in the growth that we've created. Every other category across the business has grown. The only thing that is still capped is our player salary, which is insane." That's why she's diversifying. Sophie's been building a real estate portfolio in Missouri, investing in rental properties. She reads business books on team flights and constantly asks veteran players about their post-career plans. Her merchandise sales have exploded since the viral incident. Before her follower explosion, her starting price for sponsored content was $10,000. That number has surely tripled or quadrupled. Her fashion choices regularly go viral too. She told reporters, "The outfits that have went really viral, my mom has actually picked them out. My family is like, 'Oh gosh, what's Sophie going to wear today?' It's just like a running joke." Remember that sheer black lace bodysuit she wore under a structured blazer before the season? Or when she ditched her pants in a viral TikTok after a win against Dallas? Sophie knows exactly what she's doing. She's not just a basketball player, she's a brand. But there's been backlash too. On July 1st, when the WNBA announced expansion to Cleveland, Detroit, and Philadelphia, Sophie questioned the choices. "I don't know how excited people are to be going to Detroit or Cleveland," she said. "You want to listen to your players too? Where do they want to play?" The comments went viral. Cleveland's official account clapped back. Detroit reminded everyone their old team, the Shock, had incredible attendance. Sophie later issued a heartfelt video apology, clarifying she comes from a blue-collar background herself and defending working people. She suggested Miami, Nashville, and Kansas City would have been better choices. Look, we're only halfway through this wild story, so if you're enjoying this deep dive into one of basketball's most fascinating players, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. Trust me, you don't want to miss what happens next. The dynamics with her Indiana teammates have been fascinating. At Media Day, Sophie gushed about Caitlin Clark. "She has changed our game in the best possible way and in every way. The respect is mutual." Clark has publicly praised Sophie for having her back. In her first 12 games with Indiana in 2025, she's averaging 5.3 points and 4 rebounds in limited minutes off the bench. But her plus-minus numbers show the Fever play better when she's on the court. It's the intangibles, the toughness, the spacing, the willingness to do dirty work. During the 2019 to 2020 offseason, Sophie headed to Australia to play for the Melbourne Boomers, averaging 11.6 points while shooting 57% from the field and nearly 90% from the free throw line. Her best WNBA season came in 2022 when she averaged 12.6 points per game and started 20 out of 28 games. As a broadcaster, Sophie brings unique insight. Her work with the Phoenix Suns showed she understands the media side of sports. She's comfortable on camera, quick with analysis, and unafraid to share opinions. Skills that will serve her well whether she continues playing or transitions to media full-time. The merchandising explosion around Sophie is unprecedented for a role player. Fanatics listing her jersey as more popular than Caitlin Clark's, even temporarily, shows the power of personality in modern sports. Fans aren't just buying a jersey, they're buying into the Sophie Cunningham experience. Her shoe game is serious too. According to Kick Stats, Sophie played 97.2% of her games last season wearing Adidas shoes, primarily the Adidas Dame 8 and Adidas Exhibit, select low, with a few games in Puma Court, Rider two-fold shoes. What makes Sophie special isn't just her willingness to stand up for teammates or her social media savvy. It's that she represents something bigger. In a league where players have been told to be grateful for what they have, Sophie's saying, actually, we deserve more. In a sport where personalities have been corporate and controlled, Sophie's out here calling herself a rat and posting thirst traps. Jason Whitlock summed it up. Popularity was and still is available to any WNBA player who backs Caitlin Clark. Clay Travis added, Sophie Cunningham has more than doubled her following on TikTok and Instagram since defending Clark just 2 days ago. But Sophie's impact transcends social media numbers. She's shown WNBA players a different path to relevance. You don't need to be an all-star to matter. You don't need to average 20 points to build a brand. You just need to be authentic, stand for something, and connect with fans in a real way. The controversy around her political views, the jokes about being single, the real estate investments, the broadcasting gigs, it all adds up to something the WNBA has never really had before: a player who gets it. Sophie understands that being great at basketball is just the entry fee. To really make it, to really matter, you need to be more than just a player. Her influence on younger players is already visible. Rookies are watching how Sophie built her brand, how she leverages social media, how she speaks up about issues that matter. She's creating a blueprint for the modern WNBA player, one who maximizes every opportunity on and off the court. The technical aspects of her game deserve recognition too. Sophie's three-point shooting at 36% for her career makes her a legitimate floor spacer. Her defensive versatility allows coaches to play her against multiple positions. The 2.8 rebounds per game might not jump off the page, but watch her box out. She does the little things that win games, and this is just the beginning. At 28, Sophie's entering her prime years with a fever team built to compete for championships. She's playing alongside Caitlin Clark, Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, and other stars in front of sold-out crowds. The team added veterans like DeWanna Bonner and Natasha Howard to push for a title run. The 2025 season represents a massive opportunity. Indiana hasn't won a championship since 2012, when Tamika Catchings led them to the title. With this roster and Sophie providing toughness off the bench, they're legitimate contenders. Her role? Be the enforcer, hit big shots, provide energy, and keep being authentically herself. As we head into the heart of the 2025 season, all eyes are on Sophie Cunningham. Can she help lead Indiana to a championship? Will her popularity continue to grow? What business ventures will she launch next? How will she use her platform to push for change in the WNBA? One thing's for certain, the girl who earned a black belt at 6, kicked field goals in high school, and pulled a player to the ground for messing with her teammate isn't going anywhere. She's just getting started. The Sophie Cunningham story is still being written, and every chapter gets more interesting than the last. The WNBA wanted personalities. They got Sophie Cunningham. The league wanted drama. She delivered in spades. Fans wanted someone real. Well, you can't get more real than posting videos of yourself chugging drinks and joking about being single. Love her or hate her, Sophie Cunningham is exactly what women's basketball needed. Someone impossible to ignore. From farm girl to enforcer, from role player to social media sensation, from spicy Sophie to MAGA Barbie, Sophie Cunningham's journey proves that sometimes the best stories in sports aren't about the superstars. Sometimes they're about the player willing to throw the first punch, crack the joke, speak the truth, and build something bigger than basketball. And at just 28 years old, with a championship-ready team, over 1 million followers watching her every move, and the entire sports world finally paying attention, this story is far from over. In fact, it might just be beginning. Sophie Cunningham isn't just the enforcer anymore. She's the future of how athletes build their brands, use their platforms, and change the game forever. The revolution won't be televised. It'll be posted on TikTok by a Missouri farm girl with a black belt and absolutely zero filter. And honestly, we wouldn't have it any other way. Make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell if you want more stories about the most fascinating players in sports. Drop a comment below. Do you think Sophie Cunningham is changing the WNBA for the better? And remember, in a league full of superstars, sometimes it's the role players who steal the show.